let's get to the chase. How much did you agree to pay Brun for her work?
In this film, I said I was going to pay her between £2,500 and £5,000, sorry. £2,500 and £5,000.
Why the lack of certainty? Why was it between those two figures? What did it depend on?
It depended on me getting sponsors for the film. The sponsors for the film were now on board, so it's the amount of sponsorship that will determine how far I would go. So based on that, that was why I make it that one. But 2 weeks to filming, usually I'll say this is the specific amount.
2 weeks before filming?
Yes, I tell her this is the specific amount.
Right, so 2 weeks before filming, what did you say she was going to receive?
I said we did not have sponsorship, but I wanted to go ahead with the filming, so I told her specifically
2,500?
Yes.
Is that just for caught red-handed?
Yes.
Well, that's all right. Remember that conversation, roughly? 2,500 is what you say in your claim. In fact, it's more than you're asking for.
That was just for this film.
Yes.
He said 2,500, and I said, I know he might not have that money to give me. Just give me 2,000. So I was just trying to be fair.
Why hasn't she been paid it?
Same thing too. At this point in time, the sponsors didn't come forward, so I had to use my money to produce the film. And I can't use monies from other projects to pay for a project that I've not sold yet.
That's your funeral. You have a contract with this lady. You have a legal obligation to pay her. Whether or not there's a third party that's paid you is irrelevant. She doesn't have a contract with those people. She has no commercial relationship with the sponsors. It's up to you to raise the money. And when you promise her she's going to be paid, and she does a day's work as a result of the promise you've made to her that she's going to be paid, she's entitled to that money. Right? Yes!
Yes.
Thank you.
If we pay all our artists, we'll not be able to produce more films.
I understand that. But here's the thing, and it's an expensive lesson for you, Nelson. I don't think you're a bad man, not by any stretch of the imagination. I certainly think you've got some talent, actually, having seen certainly your still photography. It's very good. It's a very high standard.
Thank you.
Very professional standard. You accept that?
I do.
It's a very professional standard, actually. And actually, the films, in terms of their artistic integrity, in terms of the quality of how they're made, whatever I think of the story, are also quite good, aren't they? Particularly for that market, they're of a high quality.
Yes, Judge.
I've no doubt about it. He's a decent filmmaker. So some expensive day, but some free advice. You've got to get things written down. Otherwise, in the long term, this is going to cost you a fortune. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
I know that you're an artist, but you're going to need to get some business advice. All right?
All right, George.
Brun, you very nearly lost this case. Very nearly. Let me explain to you why. You had nothing in writing. Had I had a more dishonest gentleman in front of me, I would have found it extremely difficult to conclude that you had any kind of contract. And the reason for that is because, according to what he said at the beginning of his case, it seemed to me that there was no certainty of terms between you and between Nelson. In other words, there was no confidence that either party had about how much you were going to be paid. During the course of the case, it's emerged, because of Nelson's admission now, that he did tell you how much you were going to be paid. And you did show up for a day's work, you did that work, and you did it to a satisfactory standard. Therefore, on the face of it, you had a contract, and it seems to me that Nelson owes you the money for that contract. What Nelson can't do is say, well, I haven't been paid by these third-party funders, and therefore I can't pay you. Your contract is not with those third-party funders, it's with him, which makes you liable for it. So I look at your claim. You've claimed £1,500 for your work in London Nawa, £2,000 in the comedy Caught Red-Handed, and £1,000 for the photos, all of which now Nelson admits, after some questions, that you're entitled to. He's already paid you £844 and 6p, leaving a total of £3,655 and 94p. And this court awards you that sum. Now, that's an expensive day, Nelson. If you don't get things in writing, even though you come to court as honest as you were, it's going to cost you a lot more. A lot more. Good luck for the future. That's the award of this court, £3,655 and 94p. You're very, very lucky that that's an honest man over there.
Thank you, Judge.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.